MD Law, De La Salle University, La Verdad Christian College, West Visayas State University, Bulacan State University, barangay officials from Barangay 306, Quiapo, Manila, employees from Convergys, the call center. This speech is entitled, Navigating the Crimes of the Plunder Mastermind. Mastermind of plunder. It comes rarely in the life of a nation that a people, under the travails of developing country status, aided by providence, find it in themselves to rise above the morass of political corruption and to build the architecture for a fresh and shining territory where people live free of the forces of darkness. Today, the time has come. At last, we stand at the very heart of the epic pork barrel corruption in the Congress, especially in the Senate. Why are the proportions of corruption so epic in scale? How did the criminals manage to steal some 10 billion pesos of the people's money in just 10 years? Who is the mastermind? Guided by faith in a just God and in the rule of law, dozens of whistleblowers have testified in writing and provided supporting documents to prove that the very heart of darkness is the leadership of the Senate itself. The thorough NBI investigation has led the Department of Justice to file formal charges of plunder against the first batch of suspects led by no less than the former Senate President, Juan Ponce Enrile, at that time, the untouchable. The Ombudsman is conducting preliminary investigation and has assured the public that justice will not be denied. The resolution will be issued by the end of this month. Notably, the Ombudsman has admitted receiving a memorandum of over 200 pages pinpointing Enrile as the mastermind of plunder. That official memorandum validates the charge I aired in the latest hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee, where I first made that very same accusation based on the lawyer's thought process of enlightened skepticism. If he smarted against the accusation, Enrile could have requested for an additional hearing where he could be personally present and interpolate Janet Napoles, who appears to be his BFF, his best friend forever. But he chooses to keep away and to keep silent because he's immobilized by fear and humiliation. Instead of presenting evidence to the public of his hypocritical protestations of innocence, Enrile once again chose to steer public attention to what he hopes will be a diversion: the lies and black propaganda hurled against me during the 1992 presidential campaign. This man, contrary to logic and common sense, hopes to evade criminal prosecution and public outrage over his plunder by resurrecting campaign dirt against me, which are over 21 years old. Dream on, old man, also known as Tanda, who next month, 2 months away, will be 90 years old. And he tried to portray me in the blackest terms. He pointedly ignored the fact that I am a laureate of the Nobel Prize of Asia, the 1988 Magsaysay Award for Government Service. According to the official citation, the award, quote, recognizes her bold and moral leadership in cleaning up a graft-ridden government agency, unquote. Media has noted that I am reportedly, quote, the most awarded Filipino public official, unquote, because I won such awards as TOIN, Towns, and UP's most outstanding law alumnus. Enrile never reached these levels of professional recognition. Instead, he spends his time on his tablet while the Senate is in session. Please feel free to compare my resume to his, since my biography appears in Wikipedia. This was not only bringing parliamentary debate to the lowest level, it is a violation of every canon of civility and decency in public discourse. Parliamentary rules strictly forbid arguments ad hominem, but my attacker delivered an entire speech by appealing to personal prejudices rather than to reason, and by attacking my character rather than my assertion that he is the mastermind of plunder. In fact, my attacker is guilty of violating the Senate rules. Rule 34, Section 94, quote, no senator under any circumstances, I supply the emphasis, under any circumstances shall use offensive or improper language against another senator or against any public institution, unquote. Under Rule 34, he has committed the offense of unparliamentary acts and language, and I shall charge him with disorderly behavior with the Ethics of the Rules Committee, punishable by suspension for 60 days. Enrile's total lack of credibility. My attacker is the icon of shameless lying. Under President Ferdinand Marcos, he claimed that as Defense Secretary, he was ambushed, thus laying the ground for the imposition of martial law. Under President Corazon Aquino, he retracted and admitted that his ambush was fake and staged. Then, under President Benigno Aquino III, he retracted again. He now claims in his memoirs that the ambush was genuine after all. He eats his own words for breakfast. In the law of evidence, he has absolutely no credibility. Falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. False in one thing, false in all things. The Supreme Court has ruled, quote, for evidence to be believed, it must not only proceed from the mouth of a credible witness, but must be credible in itself, such as the common experience and observation of mankind can prove as probable under the circumstances, unquote. People v. Loriega, 326 CRA, 675, 2000. Enrile's bungled attempt at revisionist history and his blatant disinformation has been widely condemned by all sectors of society, particularly in social media. The man is an incorrigible liar and criminal, as brought out by the litany of his crimes against the Filipino people.